Now let's explain the repair of the wings. First, is a point that we often overlook, is the root of our wings. When it is hit, may break from the root. Sometimes if it is not checked, it may not be able to fly, and can't fly normally. Okay, let's look at the repair. First, we find a knife and slowly cut our. Everyone pay attention to safety. You can cut or score it. Clean it up. The surface heat shrinkable tube. Well, as you can see from here, the carbon rod has broken from the root. At this time, we continue to clean up the heat shrinkable tube above us. Okay, here it's with roots, here it's with tape. So it can be glued later. You can see it has broken here. Then we directly remove it completely. Sometimes the rod breaks from the root. For example, if I push it in a little bit, there is no glue in the hole. If it breaks off at the root and can't take it out, we can't clip it out. What should we do? We find a pointed tweezers from the back hole and move it forward little by little. Move it, you see, it's exposed, right? If you still think it's hard to take out, you can continue to dial. You can also use a knife to complete this operation. Just be careful. We can use this hole to pull out the broken carbon rod. Then we use pliers to clip it out. We have taken out the broken carbon rod. Our suggestion is to cut a little bit of the connector. Just use diagonal pliers. Okay. Next, we need to prepare a repair kit. There will be a repair kit. The repair kit comes with 2 sizes of carbon rods. Then we use the 1mm one, the thicker carbon rod. We need to take a cut. First, after we get it longer than the broken part. The break point is here. It should be about 10 to 15 millimeters longer. We'll just cut it from here. Cut it. The next step is that we need to connect to overlap the 2 rods with the heat shrinkable tube. We need to dispensing glue here and clean it. In our repair kit has this heat shrinkable tube. We suggest you use a thick one and a thin one. Or you can just put on a thick one. Okay, put the 2 tubes on. Put the tube on like this to the end. Thin tubing allows it to come a little further. That's it. Okay. Then we need to find a heat insulating sheet. Because our fabric is not heat resistant, including our carbon fiber and plastic parts are not very heat resistant, so we need to find a heat insulating sheet to isolate the fabric, to avoid damage to our fabric when it shrinks for a while. keep the wing surface flat, it's best to find a slightly higher platform. Let's hang the prominent skeleton in the air so that our wings can be flat. Then we find an electric soldering iron. We suggest adjusting the temperature to within 200 degrees. 180 or 200 degrees is fine. The temperature should not exceed 200 degrees, because our carbon fiber is also not resistant to high temperature. If the temperature is too high, it will damage the internal structure of the carbon fiber. Now we can use the soldering iron. Move it back and forth on the heat shrinkable tube to shrink it. Don't worry about this step. Then keep the soldering iron moving to avoid local overheating. Damage our carbon fiber or plastic parts. If possible, you can also use a hot air gun. Set the temperature within 200 degrees. Generally, 180 to 200 degrees is enough, but when using hot air, pay attention to the blowing position and air volume control to avoid the heat from spreading. To avoid blowing the fabric. Okay, you can see that it has actually started to shrink, and the glue inside is also melting. If you see that the hole has softened and glue is flowing out from the edges, then it's almost done shrinking. At this time, we need remove this rod and then rearrange the wing plane again. Then you can press the position of our heat shrinkable tube by hand to keep the two rods in a plane and not stack up and down, then the shrink tube being flatter, which is more conducive to our bonding. Then let it cool naturally. Okay, wait until it cools down. We can adjust the lower fabric. Yes, adjust it. Our roots are usually fixed with tape. After we finish the repair, we can let the tape to continue bonding the root, but we suggest adding a little more glue. Add a little more glue to the front. We usually use for 01 or other similar glues. Instant glue is okay. Okay, after the glue dries, our repair will be basically finished. Here's the thing. We must keep our wings flat and on a flat surface. And the temperature. Don't let the local temperature is too high, which may damage our carbon fiber and plastic structural parts.